Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News. With all this snow comes power outages, and that's leading to multiple locations in Marquette County opening as shelters. Plus, the snow is also giving the Houghton community a chance to get involved more in winter sports. We'll hear some of the activities gaining traction. And a new push to ban stock trading by members of Congress is gaining steam, but not everyone's on board. We'll have the details from Washington, D.C. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Dakota, good evening. We are getting a little bit of a break from the snow, but those temperatures not so great.
Yeah, Kevin, it is still very frigid out there, and it's going to stay that way through the next few days. But, you know, at least we've got some breaks in that snow. Let's get you a live look over downtown Marquette from our Skycam here. And again, looking better than it did yesterday. But of course, a lot of the roads still are very snow covered, and a lot of side roads still likely going to be very slick. We still are dealing with some bands of lake effect snow coming in, especially closer to the Lake Superior shoreline. But there will be more snow to come. Temperatures into the teens, and that's pretty much where we'll stay through the overnight. Much more coming up in just a few minutes.
Dakota, thank you very much. With this week's winter storm causing extensive power outages, Marquette County organizations are utilizing their buildings as warming centers during this time. The Chocolate Township Hall Meeting Room on US 41 South opened to the public this morning. Love Mark Church on West K Avenue opened its doors yesterday, offering coffee, water, and snacks. Messiah Evangelical Lutheran Church on West Magnetic Street is also welcoming guests as well as leashed animals. The church is open until 7 tonight and from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. The Red Cross has opened 2 overnight shelters at Marquette City Hall and the Chocolate Township Fire Hall. Chocolate Township has limited showers, and guests are asked to bring their own towels and toiletries. We'll continue to update our list of active warming centers on WZMQ19.com. And with all the snow, the Keweenaw has reported a strong start to its winter sports season. Houghton received about 14 inches on Monday, totaling over 90 inches since November, creating a perfect base for all kinds of events. Earlier this month, the Portage Lake Lift Bridge opened its lower level for snowmobilers, along with Houghton and Hancock ski hills and cross-country trails. Visit Keweenaw says plenty of work goes into making these areas accessible, clearing the way for one of the busiest times of the year.
All of these are just completely open. Folks have been enjoying them. Our road crews do such a great job taking care of it so you can get where you want to go. In the Keweenaw, when it snows, people are going out. They're not staying in.
The snow also promises a full schedule of fun winter events coming soon, like the Copper Dog sled races and the Great Bear Chase Ski Marathon. A bipartisan push to ban stock trading by members of Congress is gaining momentum, but not without resistance. Supporters say it's about restoring public trust. Critics warn it goes too far. Tonight, WZMQ 19 News Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon takes a closer look at the Restore Trust in Congress Act and shares how some of our members of Congress feel about it.
A renewed push on Capitol Hill to limit congressional stock trading, this time with real momentum behind it. Introduced in September, the bipartisan Restore Trust in Congress Act goes well beyond current federal law and would ban members of Congress, their spouses, and dependents from owning, buying, or selling individual stocks and securities.
Currently, the Stock Act mainly requires reporting. Federal law bans insider trading, and what we have seen time and time again is that members, regardless of party, have either filed their disclosures late or failed to disclose assets at all.
The bill would force lawmakers to divest within 180 days. Under the proposal, fines would equal 10% of the asset's value, plus any profits, and would be publicly disclosed.
The fines in the Stock Act, which start at $200, just haven't worked. The public shouldn't have to ask or wonder whether their members are making decisions based on their personal financial entanglements or their view of the public interest.
Nearly 100 House members from both parties parties now support the bill, and a discharge petition could force a vote on it. But not everyone agrees with that strategy.
Well, I'm not a big fan of discharge petitions.
Would you sign it even though you're not a fan of them?
Again, I'm going to see how it's worded, and I'm going to see, but sometimes discharge petitions, they're used as a messaging tool. I want to see meat on the bone. Okay, I'd rather do a law and say, hey, no, we're going to bring this to the floor, we're going to debate it and make a decision. I believe that a member of Congress should not be able to trade stocks.
The problem is you get access to information all the time, so even if you're not trying to somehow have an advantage, you're putting yourself in a position where you might inadvertently have some advantage. I'm generally in favor of banning stock trading, particularly individual stocks.
But opponents warn the bill could discourage people from public service.
People running for office, are you supposed to take a vow of poverty? I think it's really reaches far beyond what it needs to be.
Representative Mike Kelly argues Congress already has oversight mechanisms in place.
I already have an ethics committee that looks into everything you do every single day. So I don't want to see us get to the point where we decide who can invest in what and how much they can invest.
With bipartisan support and bipartisan resistance, the Restore Trust in Congress Act now heads toward a potential showdown on the House floor when lawmakers return in the new year. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, celebrating the new year in Escanaba, OSF Healthcare has a way to get you home safely and it won't cost you a dime. And later in sports, Mike Ludlam breaks down the highlights between Michigan State and Michigan Tech hockey. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's high, only 13 degrees. That was the best we could do here in Marquette today. Again, you see the average at 23, so that's 10 degrees below average. Did pick up about 7/10 of an inch of snow today at the airport. But yeah, storm total events from the blizzard. Here they are. Nagati at about 28 inches. That's over 2 feet of snow. My goodness, 27.5 out towards Mount Arvin. Clarksburg at 25 inches and Big Bay at 24 inches. These are just some of the big totals that we had. Again, we've had a lot more, but like I told you yesterday, we see all the reports that come in. We just can't show every single one on the air, but my goodness gracious, lots of snow, lots of wind. We're done with that for now, but we've got a little bit more snow that's going to be coming as we head into tomorrow and into New Year's Day. Winds averaging calm right now across Marquette at the airport, but out here across the upper UP, we've got out towards Copper Harbor at 14 miles per hour, Munising at about 10, and Newberry at about 12. So here's the situation for really tomorrow. We have a winter weather advisory out here across the eastern half of the UP, along with winter storm warnings. Yeah, we are talking about an additional 6 to 12 inches worth of snow on top of what we already have. But the good news is this is not going to be a blizzard-like situation. We are not going to be dealing with a lot of the gusty winds, but there's still going to be more snow that we're going to have to shovel and plow across the area. Still dealing with a couple of lingering snow showers out here coming off Lake Superior. But again, these are mostly light. I think we'll see an additional ½ inch to an inch out of that before that starts to taper off as we head into tonight. But there's another clipper system that's going to be moving on through, and this clipper system is going to be producing more in the way of snow. So here it is for you. First warning weather futurecast picking up on the snow very nicely through tonight. Then here comes the clipper as we head into tomorrow. Watch for some widespread snow and some lingering lake effect as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. Not a lot of snow through the day on Thursday. It's mainly going to be confined to the eastern half of the UP, but can't even rule out some flakes here into Marquette. So additional snow totals, yeah, we are looking at an additional 6 to 12 inches. That 12 inches is likely going to be out here towards Munising, out here towards Newberry, and even out towards Escanaba. Could see maybe upwards of maybe 2-3 inches of additional accumulation. So let's take a look at the next 7 days, and we are still in the freezer. Teens will do it for high temperatures all the way through the new year, but we finally start to see warmer temperatures as we head into Monday and Tuesday.
Dakota, thank you again. Midnight tomorrow marks the start of a new year, and OSF Healthcare in Escanaba is helping those celebrating with alcohol get home safely. OSF's Life Riders program offers trips home on New Year's Eve from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. Life Rides are free to the public thanks to the support of community sponsors. Anyone in need of a ride can call the Delta Transit Authority bus, get a cab, or Casalo City Cab, and each number is listed on flyers posted at local restaurants and bars.
Drinking and driving is very dangerous, right? Not only for yourself, but others around you. There's not been a alcohol-related fatality from a motor vehicle since the program began 41 years ago, and that's, of course, a trend we hope to continue.
Those hoping to take the Transit Authority bus tomorrow are encouraged to schedule their ride in advance. You can find full Life Ride details at WZMQ19.com. And coming up next on Insights with New Year's tomorrow, we're talking about all the events happening in downtown Houghton. That conversation's in 2 minutes.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Tomorrow, downtown Houghton is celebrating the new year with a full evening of festivities. Here with the details is the city's Community and Business Development Manager, Danielle Perkowitz. Danielle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And Happy New Year. How did I leave that out?
Yeah. Hey, me too. Happy New Year. That's what this is all about, hey?
Happy New Year. All right, so we got to talk about these festivities coming up. So the night starts at 6 p.m. with a special twist on the ball drop. Tell us what's to come.
Sure. So 6 p.m. we have our Little Chook, which is our family-friendly ball drop that's a little bit earlier in the evening so it can accommodate folks of all ages. And technically, I would say it starts at about 5:30. If you want to start gathering down on the pier, we will have a free bookmark craft for the kids, brought to you by Nikki Makes, and she hand carves all of her own stamps. And so there's a really cute winter and chook theme, and she'll also have baked goods for sale. Also, I would suggest stopping by the Prickly Pine on the way down to the pier because they will have special kids bubbly drinks and cocos for the event.
All right, excellent. What else can you tell us about the other activities that are being planned?
Sure. So after the Little Chook drop, Sheldon Avenue really is your oyster. There's so much to do for New Year's Eve. We have multiple options for dinner, which include the Den, and they are doing sort of a mysterious masquerade event, and they encourage you to dress to impress. And masks are encouraged but not required. Or you can have dinner at the Observatory Lounge. They are doing a special New Year's Eve menu, and then you can take in their spectacular views in a really delicious setting. We also have a few things going on at the bonfire. They will have two different music groups, Tom Catalan and Chad Borgen in the Collective, as well as a comedy show. And that is with Dave Landau and Derek Richards. And I believe there are still tickets available for the comedy show. And then before our second Chook drop at 10 p.m., we encourage folks to stop by Beviamo, which is the new wine bar in town. And they are also part of our social district now, which means that you can grab a champagne from them and then take it on down to the pier at 10 p.m. for our second Chook drop.
All right, excellent. And tons of downtown businesses getting involved. So what's it like to have all of them coming together for this?
You know, it's really awesome because our whole goal is to make downtown Houghton a place where the community can gather, everyone can celebrate, and really just support local and celebrate being members of the community, members of the Keweenaw. So I think it'll be a really fun time.
All right, excellent. And I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be pretty cold. So how are we preparing for that?
Dress warm, and I would say it's a great thing that so many things are walkable distance. So you just have to bundle up for a few minutes and rush to the next place you want to check out.
All right, and looking ahead, it's almost 2026. What kind of things do you think we can expect for next year?
Well, the next big event in Houghton will certainly be Jibba Jabba, which is on Valentine's Day this year. And so that is Houghton's Rail Jam competition that takes place right down the downtown streets of Houghton. And we'll have Best Stomp sponsored by Red Bull and a whole bunch of new events for Jibba Jabba this year, a whole weekend of activities.
All right, excellent. Danielle, I think those are all my questions, unless there's anything else you think people should know about the festivities for New Year's.
You know, one more thing I will add is I saw that Red Jacket Boutique is having a big end of the year sale. So if you do still need a New Year's Eve outfit, I highly recommend checking that out.
All right, good stuff. Danielle, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for hopping on with us today. And I won't forget it this time, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you too. Thank you.
And coming up tomorrow, we're joined by Northern Michigan University as they look back at the major events and announcements from this past year. That conversation's only on 19 News Insights. Mike Ludlam has your look at sports. When we come back, stay tuned.
Good evening, everyone. Due to a power outage at the Physical Education Instructional Facility, also known as the PEIF, the Northern Michigan women's and men's basketball games against Davenport, originally scheduled for this Thursday, have been postponed to Sunday, January 4th at 1 and 3 o'clock. Now, the January 3rd games against Grand Valley State remained scheduled as planned, pending power restoration. Tickets purchased for the Davenport games will be honored for the rescheduled game on January 4th. Grand Valley State will still visit Michigan Tech Thursday, and the Huskies will entertain Davenport Saturday before the Panthers head back to the Berry Event Center Sunday. Lake Superior State is also home, hosting Purdue Northwest Friday, January 2nd, and Wayne State on Sunday, January 4th. For the second time in 3 seasons, Michigan Tech and third-ranked Michigan State met in the 59th Annual Great Lakes Hockey Invitational Final at Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids. The Huskies defeated Miami, while the Spartans excused Ferris State in the semifinals. We'll pick up the action in the second period, 0-0. The puck is going to go on the far boards. Colin Ralph is going to put it toward the net, and Anthony Romani will deflect it in past Owen Bartoskevich at 10:26 to give the Spartans a 1-0 lead. Now, it could have been a lot worse, but Bartoskevich is going to make a massive save here on Charlie Stramel right on the doorstep with the glove, keeping it 1-0 MSU. The Spartans, though, will get back on the board a couple minutes before the end of the period. Patrick Geary and Daniel Russell will set up Stramel for the goal at 18:04, and the Spartans lead by a pair after 40 minutes. To the third, Mr. Stramel's going to get into it again off a miscue from Tech, centering pass from Romani, and Stramel puts it home, and the Spartans have a 3-0 advantage. Michigan Tech would finally get on the board at 8:48 of the third. Jack Anderson's going to shoot from far out, and Carson Latimer right there will get the deflection into the net to give the Spartans still lead 3-1. They would go on to win 4-1. Stramel was the MVP of the tournament. Let's hear from Huskies head coach Bill McCult.
Happy with the result. It stings, and you got to give credit, tip your hat to the other team. They did a lot of good things. I mean, Charlie Stramel, 2 goals. Our top line has been so good for us with Stiv. I don't think we got on the board tonight, but it wasn't for per se lack of chances or effort.
The Huskies don't have a lot of time to rest. They're already heading to Tempe, Arizona for the Desert Hockey Classic. Tech will face Air Force Friday night and either Alaska Anchorage or Arizona State on Saturday. NMU gets back in action this Saturday and Sunday as they visit Lake Superior State. Yes, the Packers and the Baltimore Ravens met over the weekend, and it didn't take Derrick Henry long to get the Ravens going with a short touchdown run and a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Then Malik Willis filling in for Jordan Love will put one downfield. Christian Watson makes the catch and carries it into the end zone from 39 yards out to tie the score at 7. To the second quarter, Derrick Henry will punch it in for the score once again, and the Ravens are back in front 14-7. Packers also going back and forth. Malik Willis, the nice fake, and he's going to carry it 22 yards into the end zone. Extra point is good. The Ravens at that point still in front by the score of 20-14. Derrick Henry, another touchdown. He ended up with 36 carries, 216 yards, and 4 scores. Baltimore won 41-24. The Packers have clinched the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs. Green Bay finishes Sunday with a road game at Minnesota. That contest begins at 1 o'clock Eastern time right here on WZMQ 19. Baltimore visits Pittsburgh Sunday night with the AFC North Division title on the line. And we will be right back.
Another cold night tonight with some lingering snow showers, especially across the eastern half of the UP. Temperatures only into the teens, and that's pretty much where we'll be once again for tomorrow, around 18 for New Year's Eve day. But remember, we do have some snow on the way, so if you're going to be heading out for New Year's Eve, definitely watch for some of that snow. Could add some more snow totals on top of what we've already got. But finally, we start to see a warm-up as we head into the first full week of 2026.
Dakota, thank you again. And finally tonight, organizers of the Times Square New Year's Eve countdown don't want to drop the ball when it comes to, well, dropping the ball. They tested the iconic crystal ball today to make sure everything goes according to plan for the final minute of 2025. This New Year's Eve will look a little different with the 12,000-pound ball working overtime. Last week, organizers tested the giant numerals that will light up when the clock strikes midnight. An estimated 1 million people pack into Times Square on New Year's Eve to watch the ball drop. That's all the time we have for right now, everyone. We'll catch you back here later tonight.